Portal Revolution is a new fan-made slash mod sort of fan sequel prequel to Portal 2. It is the second fan-made Portal game I've ever played alongside Portal Stories Mel, and I really wanted to do a review of this game because I actually was really surprised of just how much I enjoyed it and just how well designed it was. It's made by a company called Second Face Software, and you can really see that the people working at this company really wanted to make the best mod for Portal 2 that they possibly could and try and make it feel like its own original story, because the story in this particular game is actually really good for a fan-made game, and the voice acting was actually was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But I'll talk more about that a little bit later. But first off, this game is actually quite challenging. The test chamber design is definitely a big step up from Portal 2, which I still think was a relatively easy game. I'm not saying that it was super easy, but like just from my experience, I was never really stuck on any of the chambers for a really long time in that game. I sort of breezed through it, apart from maybe one or two chambers that I probably spent maybe 10 minutes on and then moved on from. But there was one level in this game in particular, it was the final chamber of Chapter 4, where I actually didn't pass it until about 3 or 4 days later. I kept on coming back to it, having no idea how I could pass. I mean, like, it seemed almost impossible, like it was like built, like it was just like some sort of like joke that I wasn't supposed to pass or like distract myself from. But I did figure out that there was a solution, and it was a very clever trick to it that I really was completely blind to until like the final 2 minutes of it. I won't spoil what that is, but I did mention the chamber number. There was one earlier that involved a laser block and a tractor funnel beam thing that goes through an emancipation grid from one half of the chamber to the other. I was stuck on that one for a very long time too until I finally solved it, and I still actually don't know how I solved it, apart from the fact that I did. I think I solved that one just by pure luck. I didn't really remember the strategy of how I actually beat that one. So yeah, there are some really challenging chambers in this, but they're also very well designed. They're not like cheating or like some sort of like cheat difficulty where it's just like, you know, it's not fair. It's not like cheaping out on like anything. The new mechanics in these chambers are thought out incredibly well. It feels like the next logical step from Portal 2 and even Portal Stories Mel. It uses the two gels again to some really creative extent in this game that not even Portal 2 was able to do. And I think I should talk about the characters as well. There are two personality calls in this game called Sterling and then Amelia Connolly. Now Sterling is kind of just like, he has an American accent. He's kind of more like on like the quirky nerdy side. He's a little untrustworthy, though I won't spoil anything more than that. But what really took me by surprise was the female personality called Amelia Connolly, and she actually was voiced by an Australian voice actor, which was very surprising for me, because I hardly ever, if not ever, see any Australian voice acting in video games. It's extremely rare, and I was very surprised at just how good Amelia was as a character. She's actually she reveals to you early on, not long after the reveal, that she actually used to be a human whose mind was uploaded into a computer, just like Gladys. But the difference between Gladys and Amelia is definitely not evil. She's actually very friendly, and she's also very funny and witty. I really like the character. I kind of like the places that the game took with her. A very big surprise for me. But overall, it was just a great experience, and it's also free. You don't have to pay a single dollar to get this game on Steam. I think a requirement is that you do have to have Portal 2 downloaded in order to play this game, since it kind of works off that same game engine. But it's so it felt like a more, even though it wasn't as long as Portal 2, it felt like a more engaging and a more challenging experience than what Portal 2 was, with a lot more kind of like flavour and a lot more like decoration, a lot more interesting looking chambers. Like most of these chambers have like plants growing in them or like cracks in the ceiling. There's also a couple of shots that I took on my computer that I might show, showing there is these parts of the game where you can look out on, into the world, and there's like sunsets and you can see the woods off in the distance away from the facility. It's a very stunning looking game, and it's really like it doesn't look as bland and stark and colourless as Portal 1 or even Portal 2. There's a lot more contrast and a lot more nicer looking visuals, including the sky, the plants, the sunsets. It's just a really good looking game, and I am very happy that it got made. I had a really good time with it. I think I might give it I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. So I really did enjoy this one. It's one of the best fan-made games I've played. It might even be better than Portal Stories Mel. And overall, I just had a great time with it. So if you like the Portal games, definitely download this one. It doesn't cost a cent, and it was just a very worthwhile experience. So yeah, so that's what I think about Portal Revolution. It's really good. Definitely get it. And as always, thank you for watching. See ya.